to Liliana.
All one piece. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know me, it is safer to do what I say now than to suffer the consequences later. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. I want you to take your cell phones in your right hand immediately. 1, 2. Now, without hesitation, smash them to the ground! Smash, smash, smash. I find this to be the most effective way of not being interrupted by text messages and phone calls during my set. There are more conventional methods, like one of my favorites, putting them on vibrate, or turning them off. But be forewarned, this is a very small space and I will know exactly who you are. Now, I like to consider myself an exotic woman, but it can be placed anywhere in the world into by France, Austria, Israel, Shalom, Africa, but I am lucky and fortunate enough to be Colombian. My parents are from 2 very small towns in Colombia, Bello, which I consider a lot like Brooklyn, and Sonson, where they still have horse carriages in the electricity. But they got together and they made me in a small, tiny pueblo in the north. Hawkins, New Jersey. Like most Latino families, we are from 3 to 13 children. No television in the bedroom. In my household, we're 5, which equals 10 because we all have double nationality and multiple personalities. Growing up, I was that girl who always had a baby on her hip. Not my baby, but my mother's baby. And my mother's other baby. And my mother's other baby. And my mother's baby. And I remember the first time she ever asked, Liliana, you're 16. You finally got a period. Do you want to have babies? And I looked at her and my sister. No way, Mom. I don't want to be like you. So, I turned 19, I moved away from Colombia, away from the baby-making machine, as far as possible as I could get to New York City. I'm going to make it. My mother calls me on the phone, and she says, Liliana, you're now away from home. You have to remember, to be a man, to get married, to have children. You want to have babies. I said, hey, Mom, I'm in Brooklyn. I don't know if I'm a lesbian. And we never talked about sex before. Why do we have to talk about babies? I knew it. Mijito! Liliana's a lesbian! Why can't you be like normal girls and get fake tits instead? Normal girls get fake tits? Well, then, Mom, I'll be a normal stripper. So, a few years passed, I'm still in Brooklyn, I'm still in New York, and my mother calls me on the phone. She says, Liliana, you're not 26, you dropped out of college. We know you're not a full-time lesbian. Do you want to have babies? Mom, I'm an artist, and I'm going to become a star. Mijito! She still likes women. Our daughter is never going to get married. She turned 30. She flies all the way to New York City. She bakes me a cake. My mother has a fantasy with baking cakes for the most inappropriate reasons in the world. And she puts each candle in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. She doesn't sing happy birthday to me, but she comes straight to the house and she says, Liliana, you are now 30. You want to have a baby? Yes! When did this happen? Is it too late? My mom. just wait till all this done. Well, so I'm now 33. And my sister is pregnant before me. I'm very happy for her. And she sends me pictures of her in her Lamaze class, pictures of her at the beach, pictures of her belly bump growing, pictures of her with her pregnant friends, pictures of her buying pregnant stuff, pregnant this, pregnant that, pregnant. I can see! It's obvious! So, I fantasize all the time that I'm going to call her one day. I'm going to say, Elizabeth, baby Evan is going to have a cousin. And he's not going to know his daddy. And my sister says to me, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Don't tell Mom. Don't you think she'll notice? So, baby Evan is in town, and everybody's been rejoicing. I had to get her a present for the baby. And I tried to go into every single baby store there was in New York. Babies are us, babies are this, and babies are babies. And I walked into the first store, and those electrical, whatever it's called, doors. Those electrical doors open. And I step in, and that freezing cold air conditioning hits me, and I realize pregnant women are always hot, and miserable, and heavy. And I'm not having a baby, and I can't do this, and I can't go into the store, and I run for my life into the closest sex shop. Where I buy my sister a dozen condoms, so she doesn't have another kid before me. So, I stay in New York, and I pursue acting, I pursue comedy, I pursue stand-up, I pursue burlesque, but not so much. And I'm doing my auditions, you know, I go on auditions regularly, and I have this one particular audition that I went to, and I did the song, my monologue, my dance, everything. I had a baton, and I decided to do my tranny monologue. I forget. I have this fascination about trannies and androgyny and sexuality. And I forget that it's not the best monologue to do in an audition for me. It's just fascinating to be my movie with this Puerto Rican man who had to go run away from home to find his baby. But I walk out of the auditions, and the directors always look at me in awe and just and I get a thrill out of it. I'm never going to change my monologue. I'm never going to change it. I don't care if I don't get caught. So I get the call back. I'm shocked. I get called back, and I go in. They tell me, Vienna, we want you on Broadway, we want you with us. Theater, Mama wants you. I call my mother, Mama, I'm going to be on Broadway, Did you see me? I knew it. I knew that you were going to do it because I always have faith in you, and I pray through Jesus and you're going to rescue it. I go to my first day at work, and I walk into the dressing room, and there's 15 girls in the dressing room, there's red lipstick flying all over the place, girls are looking for their hats, somebody's screaming, where are my ties? No! 5, 6, 7, 8, come! Are you ready? Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? Da-da-da. And all that jazz. Chicago discounts on Broadway, Come on, bring all that sass on down to Chicago. Honey, I'm on Broadway. 47th Street on Broadway, to be exact. But I'm Liliana and that's my time. Thank you.